I am going to speak about high resolution data inputs and geospatial technology in planning at national and at local levels. As you all are aware, India is the largest democracy in the world with 1.21 billion population and has tradition of democratic institutions at grassroots level from ancient times. Soon after independence, India has adopted economic planning in the form of 5-year plans with initiation of first 5-year plan in 1951. Now, these plans, the policies and programs are formulated centrally from top down approach with plans implemented at lower levels like state, district, block and panchayats, etc. Though it was a successful process in terms of development, however, such central plannings could not fulfill many local needs. They could not use local resources and many local environmental concerns were also neglected in the formulation and implementation of the plans. So, the Government of India through various committees consistently pursued towards decentralization of planning process in the country, and 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendments Act in 1993 paved way for devolution of powers to Panchayat Raj institutions at district, block and gram panchayats. So, today development plan is done for the entire country spread across 29 states and 7 union territories with central, state and local governments. The local governments follow a multi-tier system covering gram panchayats, block panchayats and district panchayats. So, the workflow in planning is well organized with bottom up approach, unlike in the 5-year plans where it was from top to bottom. So, gram panchayats basically prepare participatory plans and send them to intermediate panchayats at block level. Now, these intermediate panchayats further compile the information sent by the gram panchayats in the block development plan along with their own information and prepare a block plan which is sent to Jilla Parishads at district level. Similarly, Jilla Parishads compile all the information coming from block development plans and add their own information and send it to district planning committees. Now, there are urban local bodies again in the panchayats. So, they also transmit plans to district planning committees. Now, district planning committee compiles all this information coming from Jilla Parishads and urban local bodies to form draft development plans and forward these to state for final approval, right. So, this is one part, and the second is there are a lot of motivational factors today for taking up planning exercise, where there is a tremendous scope for spatial inputs in planning process to complement the conventional methods of planning to bring in new perspectives, improve the quality of planning process and also add dynamic inputs on resources into the planning just before taking the planning exercise. These new initiatives of government like Digital India, Make in India and lot of initiatives from the state governments and other institutions are also being a motivation factors for spatial based planning exercise at grassroots level. And looking at satellite technology with a host of earth observation, communication and navigation satellites plays a key role in preparing developmental plans. ISRO, Department of Space, has proactively conceived and proposed spatial information for decentralized planning at the instance of erstwhile Planning Commission as an important program of spatial inputs in planning process. Now, this is shortly called as SISDIP, which is taken up at national level as a mission by NRSA, which is the nodal agency in implementing this, along with different state centers and different stakeholders at states and district level organizations for the last couple of years. With the initiative of Government of India on September 17, 2016, where scientists, policy makers and decision makers met together, exchanged the knowledge towards effective utilization of space technology in increasing the operational efficiency and identifying new areas of research for finding solutions. So, ISRO is today executing more than 160 such projects from various departments in different ministries using geospatial technology and high resolution data. So, space based information support for decentralized planning is one such project which is taken up by NRSA, and the core objectives of this project is to generate and produce satellite image maps for the entire country as base for decentralized planning, where high resolution data is ortho corrected and it is available in true color, so that at grassroots level people can easily interpret the data in the planning purpose. So, there are a number of value added products also are available for planning. Now, the second objective is to prepare thematic and base layers on 1:10,000 scale using satellite images and also georeferencing and vectorization of the cadastral maps, which can be superimposed on the satellite data to identify the target groups and other thematic information like present land use land cover, drainage, water bodies, infrastructure and settlements, particularly the spread of the settlements, and another important derived thematic information like slope classes from terrain models, which will be useful in planning purpose, particularly in soil and water conservation and developmental plans. To develop a comprehensive web portal as Panchayat Raj and stakeholders requirements for decentralized planning and governance. Now, this is required today because already internet has penetrated quite up to village level. So, outreach to citizens and data dissemination becomes much easier through an web portal. Then the last one is to build capacity of Panchayat Raj institutions and all the stakeholders for the use of this space based information in decentralized planning and governance. So, essentially what I mean is, this particular project called SISDIP has three verticals. One is creating a good database from the satellite as a primary input and an enabling environment to process this data and an outreach mechanism through web portal to reach out this database to different people. Essentially, coming back to Bhuvan Panchayat portal, now you all are aware internet connectivity is expanding leaps and bounds, and the priority of the government is also towards that, and mobile phone penetration is also there in the rural areas. So, this particular project envisages using this instrument as mass deployment instrument and collect the information that is required for planning purpose. So, Bhuvan Panchayat portal essentially has a web based platform called Bhuvan Panchayat, which has been designed and developed for digital empowerment of the society for panchayat level planning and governance. It provides, besides data, enabling environment for asset mapping. Now, when I say asset mapping, this includes both government assets, private assets assets for social requirements like primary health centers, your primary schools, ATMs, seed dispersion depots, fertilizer depots. Talk of anything at gram panchayat level, all these assets are taken, and there is an activity planning done based on the government programs, and implementation and monitoring of these activities can also be done on this on this portal, and interactive report generation also is possible at panchayat level. Now, this whole thing can be accessed by anyone who has an internet connectivity. The website is www.bhuvan-panchayat.nrsa.gov.in, so that the citizens in general and the 3 tiers of Panchayat Raj institutions in particularly are the potential users of this portal. It also offers multilingual user face, because we know that at Gram Panchayat levels across the country, lot of local languages are used. So, we have actually provided multilingual user interface, so that it becomes very easy rather for the Gram Panchayat grassroots level workers to work. So, users can register either as citizens or as panchayat, block or district level workers, get into the system, and the administrative privileges are also given according to their status, whether they are citizens or PRIs, and one can actually process the data in the following way. So, essentially from this there are about 6 modules. One is for geo-visualization of the entire database at village levels, then generation of area profile reports which can be generated and downloaded, then asset mapping through mobile applications, and integration of the already geotagged assets available, then activity planning under centrally sponsored and state schemes, then implementation of monitoring of planned activities and downloading maps and reports of selected areas of interest by Gram Panchayats. So, this particular project today is successfully implemented. There are a lot of case studies using this particular database, and to further enhance the utility of database created under SysDip, a spin-off project is also implemented called EPRIS, that is essentially to empower Panchayat Raj institutions in using SysDip database. So, here again the 3 objectives are capacity building of all the Panchayat Raj institutions, line departments, academia and NGOs, which provides lot of employment opportunities for the citizens around. Then asset mapping of 10% of the Gram Panchayats and activity planning of 10% of the Gram Panchayats. And a number of case studies have come out of this study, where we have done typically a gap analysis, proximity analysis, and a number of planning products which will be useful at Gram Panchayats in preparing local developmental plans. So, this is what I wanted to share, and there is going to be a demonstration of Bhuvan Panchayat also in detail. Thank you.